The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter is made possible by a contribution from AEG.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the Daughter.
And today we're going to play Space Base.
This is from AEG.
Now this is a game that is very like Machikoro, except I think it's got a bunch of different actions and things that you can do that Machikoro doesn't have, because some people don't like Machikoro.
They're wrong. First of all, Machikoro is a great game.
With the Harbor expansion.
Oh yeah, you can't play it without the Harbor expansion.
Right. But I think you're going to see a lot of similarities with this, and you're also going to notice how this is really different. And I think if people have been put off with Machikoro, they may actually be drawn to Space Base. So why don't we roll some dice and see what kind of ships come up. And what did you just say about the art there?
They look like Thunderbirds. That's like what I immediately thought of, because I saw the green one, and then I saw this one's like Thunderbird 1, and like 3, it's like combined, and it's like 2. That could be 5.
So you know what the Thunderbirds
4.
say.
Thunderbirds are go.
This game is pretty easy. We're going to roll dice, and we're going to get money or income. So I want to show these neat little dice here, because I don't know if you can really see this on camera. They're kind of speckled, almost glittery. Megan likes glittery.
I do.
And then you can see that the ones are these little cool rocket ships. So on our turn, what we're going to do is we're going to roll these dice, and we can either take the individual amounts, so in this case a 2 and a 4, or we can take the one amount, the sum of 6. And what we're going to do is we are going to activate ships that are on our board. Now let's talk about our board. So we each have an identical player board. You can see here's a blank one here, and it's got slots 1 through 12. And we each have our own starting deck, which the ships are all identical. I think the artwork is a little different on each one.
The coloring, yeah.
But essentially what they're going to do, and I'll show you, like here is an example of a ship card. The ship's going to have a sector number that it's going to be in. In this case, that's a 1, and you'll see that it goes all the way up to 12. The blue is what they call the station reward. And so if we roll and we choose to activate a 1, we're going to get 1 credit for that. Now you'll also notice there's this red area at the bottom. That's because as we buy ships, we're going to be sending those that we already have in station. We're going to deploy those, and those are going to be flipped upside down above our board, and you'll see how that works in our playthrough. And then whenever another player rolls that number, we'll be able to get the reward that is in the red. And like I said, that'll all make sense as we play through. Now, the object of the game is to be the first player to get to 40 points. And we're going to be doing that through a number of ways, mainly through having certain cards that when we roll and have those ships in our on our board, we're going to get those victory points. We also have down here colony cards. Now, these cards are going to offer a one-time bonus of victory points. So you can see these go all the way from 1 through 12. And so the higher up you go, the higher the victory points you're going to get. And as soon as you place the colony in your spot, you no longer will score whenever you roll for that. But any of the ships that you have deployed will still get benefits on another player's turn. So on your turn, like I said, you're going to roll a dice. You're going to basically determine how you want to handle that. And then as an optional step, you can buy a ship. Now, these ships have different costs, and they're in different stacks, 1, 2, and 3. The ships that are in the 1 row are actually a lot cheaper. They range from like $2 to $4. And then when you get to the 3rd row, you can see this one costs 14. You're going to place that ship in the sector that's at the top of that, and then whenever you roll that number, in this case when I roll an 11, I'll get 8 victory points. But if I ever get this deployed and get that turned around, then when Megan rolls an 11, I would get 5 victory points. There are certain other special actions that you can have that you have to actually activate. You'll see we've got boxes here, and this means when you see these dots in this one, in a 2 or 3 player game, you have to use those. But for instance, if I roll a 6, then I can place one of those clear crystals on here, and then I can activate that. You can see it says place one charge anywhere. I would be able to place a charge anywhere on any other ships that I have in my board. And like I said, that'll make sense in our playthrough. So when you buy a ship, you actually have to spend all your money. There's no change given. So let's just say that I bought a ship that costs 8. Okay. Now let's say I had 12 money. Right there. So what I would actually do is, even though that cost 8, I would send this all the way down to 0. Now this green cube I have, that is my income. And wherever my income is on the track, when I reset my money will actually go to that. So let's say that I had my income on 6. Then after I spend all my money, then I reset back to 6. And then the blue cube is just to track your victory points. And whenever you buy ships, you will refill that spot at the end of your turn. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw randomly from the number 1 deck, and we each get that ship to start. So Megan, go ahead and take a card there, and I will take a card. So you'll see I got this 8. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and place it in my number 8 spot, and the ship that I had there gets turned upside down, and I just show the red number.
I got a 9.
So since Megan got the higher number, she will actually get to be the starting player. Because she always likes to be starting player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except in this game, when you're the starting player, you don't get any other bonuses.
Yeah.
Now, because I am the second player, I will actually gain 1 money. So I'll go ahead and I'll move my money marker up 1. And I think we're ready to begin. Megan and I actually drew the same type of ship. We've got these arrows on there instead of money or being able to increase our income. Now what this means is, in this case, whenever we roll an 8, we can decide that we can either activate the 9 or the 7's ability on that card. And then you can see that when we flip it and deploy it, then we can actually still have that same ability. So Megan, since you are the first player, we'll let you go ahead and roll.
Alright, so I got a 5 and a 6, so that could be for an 11.
Now one thing I didn't mention is that not only does Megan get to do that, but I get to also do that as well. I can look on my board and I can either activate my 5, my 6, or my 11. As it turns out, I don't have any of that, so I will not be activating anything in this turn.
I'm going to do the sum and make it 11, and I took 1 income.
Okay.
So that was that.
Alrighty, I have a 2 and a 6, which would be, I'll take it as an 8, and I'll actually activate my 9, which bumps my income up 1.
Alright. 6 and 4. I'm going to make that a 10 and
Nothing for me.
bump my income up.
And neither one of us have enough money to really buy it. Well, actually, we do, because
You do.
Well, I incorrectly put mine on 1. You actually should be on 5.
Oh yeah, we should be on 5.
So you can actually buy something if you
I
want.
forgot about that. I'm good though right now.
Yeah, little minor setup faux pas there.
2, 4.
All right. I will activate both my 2 and my 4, which will give me 2 money.
Would you like to buy?
I like to buy. Well, I have 8 to buy, so I could buy some things here. No, I think I'm going to buy this 10. It's going to cost me 7, but it's really all my things.
Okay.
And I'll flip that over there. So now if I roll a 10, I will actually get $9. So I will actually reset my money back to 1.
Alright, 6 and 3.
Nothing for me.
I'm gonna take the 2 money from the 3 and the 6. That puts me at 7. I'm good right now. Go ahead.
I think it likes to save her money. She's
2.
thrifty. Also, whenever you roll doubles, you can actually choose to take that bonus twice. So I could take the number 2 bonus twice if I want, which in this case I will, because that will give me $2, which moves me to 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and buy this 8.
Okay.
And your abilities will start stacking as you deploy more ships into that sector.
Alright, 2, 2.
Nope, not for me.
I'll do that twice and take the 2 money. I'll buy this one for 8, and that goes in my 4 slot.
Okay, this card that came up is one of those I was telling you about that's a little different. You can charge it by putting a crystal there, and then it has a couple of special symbols. So you'll see if I use both dice in order to make that a 5, so say a 1 and a 4 or a 2 and a 3, then I can choose to activate either 1 space to my right or 2 spaces, but I have to use both of those dice. All right, so 3 and a 2, just like I was given the example for. So I will activate my 2 and my 3, which will give me 2 money. I have 3 to spend. I'm going to go ahead and buy this one for the number 1. Oops. Just because that's going to give me a little bit more money.
3 and 6.
I'm not going to buy anything.
Oh, sorry. Figured you weren't. I'm gonna do the 9, and I'm gonna take 3 money from the 8 since it has that arrow.
Would you like to purchase?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the 7 here. Oh, it's gonna cost me 4. That's okay.
I like that one.
Oh, that's good. It's a 12 though. 4
So
or 5.
a 9.
I'll take the ability from the 9 and get 3 money.
I'll take the 9 and just bump my income up by 1. That's 3. I want to buy that, which will actually put me back to 2
That's
there.
pretty nice.
But it's a 12, so the 12s are not going to fire that much.
Nope. 6 and 1. I'll make that a 7. Take the money from this, and then I get 3 more.
I'll take the 1 because it'll give me at least $1.
I'll take this one here. And that's for 8, and I had 9, but it goes in my 3.
Okay. I have a 10, so 10 actually gives me 9 money.
Take
puts
the
me
1 from your 4.
up to 12. Oops, right there. I'm going to take this one for 8. I think that's going to give me 3 money. That goes in my 5 spot. And put my money back down there.
6 and 1. I'll do the 7.
I'll do the 1 so I can get $1.
Go ahead.
Alright, I got a 5 and a 1.
Nope.
Well, I will activate both my 5 and my 1, and that will actually give me $5.
Would you like to buy?
We got 8 to spend.
There's a lot of 8s in the second row.
You know, I will. I'm going to take this one here. For my 6, you've been rolling a lot of 6s.
5 and 3.
Yeah, I can take the 5 for $1.
I'll take the 3. And that gives me 2 victory points. And then the 5 is 1 money. And then I will go ahead. I'll take this one for 8.
Alright, a 5 and a 1. I'll take the 5 and the 1. That'll give me another 5 money. I'm back to 8 money. Yeah, I think I'll take this one. We can start getting some victory points.
Okay. 2 and 6. I'll take that as 8.
2 and 6. Well, I could take 1 money for the 6.
Pass.
Okay. Oh, double 1s. I will take the 1 twice, and I will actually get 4 victory points.
Would you like to buy?
I only have 3.
And this one's 2.
Yeah, that's a 12. I kind of like my 12 where it's at.
Okay.
How much is that one?
4, yeah. 4 and 6. I'll do my 10. That gives me 5 victory points.
I'll do my 10, which will give me 3.
Go ahead.
Okay. So 3 and a 4.
do the 7. Too many.
Yeah, my 3 and 4 would only give me 2. My 7 would give me 3. And that puts me up to 9 money.
Anything from the second row?
Anything from the second row?
You don't have to buy.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy this one.
Okay.
Because this one is a double. It gives me 3 victory points, and I get to activate my 11.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
So turn that up. And back down.
6 and 6. There
Thank
you go.
you.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's going to get me 9 money and an income.
Just 1 income for me. Go ahead.
And a 1 and a 4.
Take the 4. $1.
I'll take the 5, which is 3 money. I've got 14 to spend. You know, I'm going to buy this one.
Yeah.
Because why not? This is my 1 spot. Now I'm going to get a victory point whenever I take the ones from on your turn.
5 and 3. I'll take the 3 money from the 8.
From the 8, I'll take the, oops, that goes back down there. I'll take the 2 money and I will take 1 income. Or no, I can't. That's, you gotta remember, it's my
Yeah.
deployed. So I'm just taking the money.
Yeah, okay. I'm good. Go ahead.
Alright.
Doubles.
Ooh.
That's good for you.
Yep, that's gonna be 6 victory points because I'm gonna take that twice. So it puts me up to 10, and I have 5 to spend if I wish. I think I'll take this one here. This goes in my 10 spot. There we go.
Okay. 2 and 4.
Yeah, I get 1.
I'll take my 2, which is 1, and my 4, which is 2 VP. Go ahead.
Alright. 9.
Ooh, I get 3 money.
I'll take the 9 as it'll bump my income. I've got 4 to spend.
Anything from the top?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it ride.
2 5s. I'll do that twice for my 10. I'll just do it once for my 10. Never mind.
I'll do my
5.
10, which will give me 9. That's my money up to 13.
Go ahead.
Alright. 3 and a 4.
2 money.
7 will get me 3. I have 16 money.
And 17.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one.
Okay.
That will go in my 4th slot. And put that back down there.
5 4.
Yeah, that'll give me 2 money.
I'll use my 9. I'll take 5 VP from the 10. And that's it.
Not buying anything, huh?
No.
I will point out the other day when we played this, Megan didn't buy a whole lot, and then she kicked my butt.
Yeah.
And then she started buying those colony cards. Let's see. 8 would get me 5. A 6 and a 2 would only get me 4. So
I think
I'll
it was in
take
that other
5.
game I could boost my income higher. I'm stuck at 3 right now.
Yeah.
There's no cards out to help boost that.
I got 11 to spend.
Anything from 2 and 1?
Yeah. I think I'm going to take that one.
Okay.
Here's my 11th spot.
2 3. Take my 2 and my 3. So 1 from my 2.
Remember,
2 from my 3.
I guess I'll just take 1 from my 5.
Go ahead.
I think it's letting it ride.
Ooh, 7. I'll get 2.
2 and a 5. Well, my 7 would get me 3. My 5 would actually give me 4, so let me do that. 5 and a 2. Yeah, that actually gives me 4, so I'll do that. I've got 9 to spend. gonna take this one here. This is my 9 spot. There we go.
6 and 5. I'll actually take the 11 because it will boost my tone.
Oops. I'll take the 11 and that'll give me $4.
And off you go. 2, 5. I'll take the 7. 2 money.
I'll take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 money from my 5 and my 2.
Would you like to buy?
That gives me 12.
You get that. That's for 12. What's your only thing in your third row?
Yeah, I'm not really wild about that one. I think I'll take this. That'll go in my 2 spot. Ooh,
4,
6 and a 4.
I'll take the 10. So it'll give me 5 VP.
I'll take the 10. That'll give me 9 money. Holy cow, how do you have so many victory points already?
That.
Deja vu all over again.
Go ahead.
I think Megan's got this game figured out. 5 and a 2. Man, I've rolled that a lot.
7 gets me 2 money.
Gives me 4 money. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gives me 17. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the 3 colony. That's only going to give me 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. And now my 3, when I roll a 3, it doesn't do anything. And when Megan rolls a 3, I'm going to get a coin.
There you go. Take a coin. 3, 5. I'll
Yeah,
take the 2
It's going to be the
VPs
same.
from the 3.
Oops. I'll just take the 2 money.
And then the 5 gets me 1. Go ahead. 4, 4.
I will take the 4 twice, which will give me 6 victory points.
I'll do that with my 4. Cool.
I'm not going to buy anything.
1, 3. I'll make that a 4. Take 2 VP.
A 1 and a 3, so that's going to give me 3 money. 1, 2, 3, and 1 victory point.
Go ahead.
She's got her eye on something. 6 and a 4.
I'll take that. 10. It'll
Don't.
give me 3.
6 and a 4. I'm actually going to take the 6 and the 4. The 6 will give me 3 money. 1, 2, 3, and the 4 will give me 3 victory points.
3, 2. I'll take the 1 from the 2.
That'll give me 2 money.
And from the 3, I'll take the 2 VP. I would like to buy this for 24. That gives me 8 VP. That puts me at 40.
Now, since Megan is the start player, I actually get to finish my turn. Although it's not gonna matter, I don't think, because I don't have enough. It's gonna buy enough to get me there. I got an 11, 5 and a 6, which would only give me 6 victory points. Let's see, 5 and a 6 here. It only give me 6 money. So I'm gonna take the 6 victory points. And I have 14 to spend. Can I? Actually, the only thing I could buy would be this. I'm gonna buy, that's for the 2. And that gives me another 4 victory points, which is kind of pointless at this point, but want to make it a little bit closer. So Megan has 40 and I have 34. So we'll go ahead and give Megan the space trophy.
Woo!
How did you beat me again?
I let you spend all your money trying to do upgrades, and I keep saving mine, except for like early on, just getting a couple that will either boost my income or just give me like 2 and 3 victory points, and they start adding up.
What was your income at? 5?
Well, just that last turn moved up to 5. That was 4, but I would keep waiting, and then I would start saving up, and then be like, oh, I'm getting closer. Then I don't have to spend as much money there.
Well, your
because I would start
income,
figuring it out.
your income is actually higher than mine, and I have all these ships where I was getting all this money.
You
But
kept buying ships, because look how many more ships you bought compared to mine. I only bought 6, like that are like up here.
how much was that? That 10?
That was the 10 was
Yeah,
8.
victory points.
It was 5 victory points every
And
time.
you hit that quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, Megan's kind of got this game figured out.
Yep.
So now let's get to what we think.
Well, since you lost again, I guess I'll let you go first.
Okay.
'Cause you've not actually won this game playing against me before.
Hey, shut up. I like the game. It is, as you saw, it plays very fast. There is really no downtime because you're doing stuff on everybody's turn, which I think keeps everybody engaged. There's obviously a couple of different strategies because Megan, you've used this strategy multiple times. I've used different strategies against the guys at work, and I've actually won there. Pretty much kind of doing what I'm doing here. I think the fact that you were able to just kind of hammer on that one, getting your victory points, and then you only bought 1 colony.
Yeah.
But I, as far as the gameplay goes, I like it. Like I said, it's fast. Some people don't like the dice, but you've seen that there are cards that allow you to, change dice rolls, set the dice, just kind of, different ways that you can mitigate that. So, gameplay, what do you think, Megan?
I think it's just okay. I know you, when you first started teaching me this, you're like, oh, it's like Space Machikoro, and I was like, oh, it's really cool. I really like Machikoro, but this kind of fell flat to me, honestly, because I enjoy Machikoro so much more.
And why?
Take that, because I like every time you land on a restaurant, I get money, and I can, bankrupt you and crap, and, I like that type of version of, this type of game a lot more. This is more... It's really laid back. There really isn't that much cutthroat. You're not knocking points off or taking money from another player. There's always something where someone's benefiting, which, that's cool, but I like Machikoro better for that aspect. I do like, however, how you start off with all the same cards, so you always have a chance of hitting something early on, whereas in Machikoro you kind of have to build that up to be able to hit numbers.
Yeah.
So I do kind of like that. I like the artwork. I think it's really cool, especially all of the cards, the background, it matches up really seamlessly into the background on the board, which I think is kind of cool. It's really minor. I also like the dice being speckled with the little glitter, and I like that these cubes are translucent, so you can easily see what number is underneath too. So that's kind of cool.
I think the components are really good on this. The boards are nice and sturdy and thick. The card stock themselves are nice. They've got a nice finish to them. Some people have complained that the card size is a little too small. I think it's actually necessary because you need to put a lot on there, so you need narrow cards. Plus you got to slide them under your board. That can be a little fidgety at times, but that's really kind of a minor thing.
They're bigger than your Congress cards from these that small size deck card where it's maybe that size, which I kind of like that it's just a little bit bigger. It's easier to pick up. It's the icons are big enough for you to read and all. The iconography is really easy to pick up on this, but I think if it was any smaller, it would be too small, and if you made it a normal playing card size, it would be too big, and you'd have way too much table space being occupied, where this kind of keeps it a little bit more together.
Yeah, and on some of these where you have the deployed action, the print on there is a little small, but it's not really too bad.
No, and it's pretty much the same as what it is when it's big, so even if you kind of have to flip it over and read it, but even for me that's just slightly smaller. But
now you did talk about one of the things that didn't really do it for you was there's not that much take that. There is some, because I know that there's a card that forces all your opponents to lose 4 victory points. There is also a card that if you are able to pull it off, you win immediately, regardless of score, which is actually kind of a neat thing to have. It's one I know that you have to actually charge up quite a bit. So it can take some doing to pull off. But if you can pull it off, I think that would be really cool.
I don't know if it's just too with us being in a 2-player, and I've only played a 2-player. We don't cycle through the cards very often, so you're normally stuck with always the same amount of cards. Like, if you don't like that card, it's probably going to still be there for a couple turns before a card you kind of want will pop up. So that's kind of my only complaint there in a 2-player. I mean, I don't know with 3 and 4. I'm sure your cards will cycle through quicker, but at least for me, I don't really focus on the cards too much because I'm focusing on getting my money so I can just plop colony cards down and not have to worry too much.
And you did it with only one card this time.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, I know. The other day I had a couple colony cards, but I had a higher income.
you didn't cheat, did you?
No, pretty sure I didn't. I mean, people will call me out if I did, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
whatever.
they will.
I mean, I still beat you. I was ahead anyway, so it's fine. Whatever.
Now, there is one expansion that is out already and one that's getting ready to come out. We actually have the next expansion, The Emergence of Shy Pluto.
It's Pluto.
And
I'm glad it's Pluto.
we did
recognize Pluto.
we actually filmed an unboxing on this.
Well, we started to.
Actually we did film the whole thing, but then we realized we couldn't actually show you anything in it
Yeah.
because it tells you, oh, stop, don't open this, don't read this. So
Yeah.
there may be more take that in this expansion.
Which I'm hoping, because I want this game to be a little bit more cutthroat for me. Otherwise, it's really laid back. There isn't a lot of excitement in it for me. It's just kind of, okay, yeah, we're rolling dice, we're taking cards, and whatever. But if I want to play a game similar to this, I'm gonna get Machikoro out.
Well, okay, so speaking of Machikoro. So Machikoro base game was just, it was okay.
Harbor expansion.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
Can't play
it's
without.
it's very possible that this expansion or the next expansion that's coming out, which I think is called Command Station, that will introduce a lot of those things. Maybe you'll get a lot more take that, which
I
I
hope
think
that's the thing.
I think the game does need that. It needs more of the spite.
Yeah, I need something a little bit more substantial. This is very simplistic for me, and that might just because I've played Machikoro more and I've played other type of games, but I think this would be a good start if you're kind of wanting to get people into Machikoro, because it's pretty much the same basis, and like I said, there isn't that take that aspect. It's really everyone's benefiting pretty much almost every turn, so
Now-
it's kind of a nicer version of it.
Speaking of that, this is actually a very good entry-level game for non-gamers or your novice gamers, because it kind of gets them introduced to that concept of, hey, yeah, we're rolling dice, but there's stuff that's happening on every turn. In fact, I think what I would do, I mean, we don't play Machikoro without the Harbor expansion.
No, not even when we taught it to other family, we had that in there because we're like, otherwise it's just not good.
And I think if I had to choose between this base game and Machikoro base game, I would choose this.
Yes, I would too.
But like I said, we're looking forward to seeing what the expansion does, because I think that is, I wouldn't call it a problem. It's more of a preference, because you're watching our channel, so anytime Megan can stick it to the old man, she does.
Oh, definitely.
So I definitely understand your point of where you're coming from, is where you feel that that's lacking in a game like this, because I agree.
It doesn't deter my opinions on the game too much, but if I had to pick, obviously I'm not probably going to pick this one, but it's still a good game overall, and I really do like it. It's just, if I had a preference, I'm not going to probably pick this one.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that there's so many different cards that you can get, and they offer different things. Like this one here, 20 money if you hit that one. Now you need to charge it up, but 20 money is a lot. Here
Yeah.
you're going to get 8 victory points. And when you can combo these things, we didn't really have a chance to show that off. But when you get those arrows, or you get some of the where was that one at that I had that showed? Oh, this one here. It's right on my board. Figures that I couldn't find it.
Good job.
So this one, you can see I'm getting 3 victory points, and I get to activate my 11. Now, granted, the 12's not going to come up that much, but when it does, that's going to be something really cool to have. And you can set up different combos that you can chain, so that, you rolled a 4, but guess what? I've got a couple of arrows. I can activate that 6, and that 6 is going to get me either a lot more money or victory points or whatever.
I think that is something too for people that don't like the dice games where it's all up to the luck of the roll. There is ways to mitigate that in this, and there is ways to kind of help benefit your chances of getting some good things out of it. So I think that's nice.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many different things that the cards offer. The replayability, I think, is is huge,
Oh, yeah.
because you're not going to have very similar games because you have so many of the cards. I mean,
There's
I'll
a lot of cards
show you
there.
the.
And they're
You can
very
see how
thin.
thick that deck is.
The
Yeah,
cards
I
are
mean,
thin, so there's a lot there.
there is just a ton of cards that you're going to have to go through. So I really like that aspect of it.
Also pointing out, Game Mat is not for Space Base, so don't like go to your shop and look for one.
Yeah, this is actually Megan's trophy
Yes,
from
it is.
winning Star Realms tournament at Gen Con, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And she got.
3 years ago.
We thought she was going to play against me for the championship, but I got
You
knocked
got
out in the
knocked
round
out.
before. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's that. We just don't talk about that much.
I like to. You just don't.
All right, so I think that'll do it for Space Base. Like I said, keep an eye on the channel because we're going to be playing Space Base, the Emergence of Shy Pluto expansion. We're going to see what that does. Now, we will warn you ahead of time that will contain spoilers. So if you are not ready for that, then you're probably going to want to wait on that. But just keep an eye on it, and we'll try not to spoil things too terribly much. So Space Base from AEG, I recommend it. Megan is,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recommend it. But yeah,
and we will catch you guys next time.
bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.